Good afternoon, students. In this session, we are going to learn about what is React state and what is the difference between state and properties in React.js. So, generally, what is a state in a React? Generally, web application uses the concept of HTTP, which is a stateless protocol. And HTTP works with the principle of go, get, and forget process. Go means it will establishes the connection with the server and gets the response for the request and cleans up everything. That is, removes all the traces of current request. So the stateless nature of HTTP is an advantage for web application as it manages the memory. Now, when coming to state, it is an object that holds some information which is provided across multiple requests with information changes according to the situation. So generally in React.js, the state must be initialized. That is, the differences between props and states is props are immutable, and once you define a property, it cannot be changed. But when coming to state, state is mutable. It can change according to the situation. Hence, rules for configuring the state in React.js applications are the state object must be defined with an initial value, that is, state must be initialized. Here, initialization can be done by using a predefined constructor, and state is derived from React.component base class, and state cannot be changed explicitly. Hence, state is possible only in class component, not in functional component. That is, state is not possible in functional component, but only class component, which will extend React.component base class only can handle the state in React.js. And state can change its structure but can't modify explicitly. Now I quickly open my Visual Studio Code, and this is my Visual Studio Code. Here I am going to write two programs, one for using configuring the React.js component in state. So I am going to highlight the second one. Rendering, we can see, but before rendering, first we are going to call the state. Now, so here we goes. So configuring the state for React.js component. So here I have taken a class which is a product class that will extend React.component. And in this, I'm going to define a key value pair like a dictionary, name or something mobile name, and also the price. And here I have closed this dictionary. Now, what is the use of constructor? Constructor is used to initialize the state, and constructor requires properties as an argument to pass into superclass constructor. Here props are used as a component properties. Hence, for this, I have defined a constructor for initialization. I am going to call the superclass constructor using a predefined superclass. And here I am going to use, since it is a class component, I am going to use this keyword. So this dot state is equal to, I am going to define a name, and I am going to define the price. And finally, I am going to use render to display the values. In render, I am going to return some HTML code. So here my HTML code is name, that is state name, state.price, and product name, and as well as product.price. Here I am going to differentiate both state name and as well as product name. And in the main content, I am going to render this by using div class name is equal to container fluid, and I am going to call this product, which is a class component. Now, and finally, I am going to render the main content by using document.getElement by id of root. Now, I am going to save this one, and I am going to open my command prompt. So here I am going to open my command prompt. Yes, I am going to navigate to my folder. I am going to run this npm start. Now here, when once the server is started, you can clearly see the product name as well as state name in React.js. Yes, the server was started. Now starting the deployment server. Let us check if there are any errors in our program. Yes, I am going to connect with the internet so that the output will be obtained. So let me connect with the internet. Yes, the output was obtained here. So name, JBL, price and mobile, and as well as price also. Here I mentioned the price value as LG mobile. So let me change this one so that the output will be differentiated. So let me change this one also. So price JBL, and here I have called only name, so that's why it has name came here. So I'm going to call this here product dot price, and I'm going to save this one and I'm going to refresh it. So here you can clearly see that state value as well as product value came. So in this way, the state can be used in React.js. Now, how can we render the state? So let me highlight this one. Now, we can render the data from the state using the following. So here I am going to pass the properties to the constructor as an argument so that the state can be rendered. That is, the data can be rendered from the state. So here I am going to call the same product class which will extend react.component, and here I am going to, in the constructor I am going to pass the properties as the parameter. And for superclass constructor also I am going to pass the properties as a parameter, and here I am going to define one array which consists of a key value pair of name, price and as well as photo. In photo I am going to retrieve this photo here from src. Here my.jpg, here I have used that photo. And also I am going to use a render class that will return the HTML code. Here I have mentioned the div class name for card as well as card body as well as card footer also. And from each case I am going to call state.data of 0, that is data of 0 for name as well as photo as well as price. And I am going to close the div tag, and finally I am going to use the main content which will extend the react.component, and I am going to display the products catalog. Now, I am going to save this one, I am going to refresh the output. Let me check. Here you can clearly see that the output was obtained with products class catalog and JBS taken as well as a 4,500 of amount. Let me save this one so that we can obtain the image also. Let me connect to net. Yes. Now we will again run the code and check whether the image will come or not. Refresh this one. When once the net is connected, yes, here you can clearly see that the JBL speaker image was here. So in this way, the data can be rendered from the state in React.js. Thank you.